The party
Guy
was lame to me.
Fieri.
Fieri.
That's the fun.
Yeah.
So they're trying to track him down. Mora's at the party.
I just want to say, you are never allowed to pick the freaking theme for anything again. Okay. Albuquerque, fire truck. We're just yelling out words now? What's going on here? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so be sure to check us out there. As always, my name is Matt, and I'm being joined by my sister and co-host, Vetta.
Hey, guys.
Hey, nerd. On this episode, we are going to be talking about the movie Totally Killer. But... Totally. But before we get started, I'm going to ask the most important question of the night, and that is, Vetta, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking rum and Coke.
Oh, look at you. It's a classic, like
It
this
is
movie.
a classic. I love it. It's just yummy, yummy.
Right on. It is yummy, yummy. All right, so I am drinking what is called an 80s electric 80s cocktail. It's very blue. Okay, so this has got it's got vodka, blue curacao, lime juice, pineapple juice, simple syrup, and club soda. And then you're supposed to like garnish it, but you know me, I don't like food in my drinks and I don't like garnishes. Anyways, okay. And it's delicious. I just want to say that.
When does a blue drink not
Ain't that the
taste
truth,
delicious?
sister?
I don't know what it is, but they're always so good.
Okay, so this movie, Totally Killer, 35 years after the shocking murders of 3 teens, an infamous killer returns on Halloween night to claim a 4th victim. When 17-year-old Jamie comes face to face with a masked maniac, she accidentally time travels back to 1987, forced to navigate the unfamiliar culture. Jamie teams up with her teenage mother to take down the psycho once and for all. Dun dun dun. Okay. So first off, had you watched this movie before I suggested it?
Yes, I had watched it when it came out.
Oh, I had not seen it.
Yeah.
I had just saw the trailer.
Funny thing is that it was in what, 2023, or was this a 2024?
Yes.
There on Netflix, there's another movie very similar to this where the girl time travels back in time, but instead of her mother, it's her sister.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, no, thank you. Thank you.
I've seen them both. The similarities, besides the fact that it's one's mom and one's the sister, I mean, is crazy. Like, there are just a few things tweaked here, and I was like, all right, so somebody stole somebody else's script, tweaked it so it wouldn't be seen as the same, and pitched it to Netflix.
Right. Okay, so I just have to say right now, first off, okay, I want to ask you a question. Did you guess the murderer?
No.
No.
Like, I thought the second murderer. Like, I thought it was the guy, the podcast guy that was totally into the killings. I was like, either he did it or he knows who did it.
Right on. Yeah,
I thought it was him as a kid.
Right. Okay. Cool. See, I didn't think it was him then, and I was like, I didn't guess right at all. So
you didn't think it? Yeah, Doug never crossed my mind.
Yeah, Doug never crossed. No, I didn't think it was the podcaster guy because I was like, he's too easy. Same thing with the Lurch kid. I was like, it's not the Lurch kid. As soon as I saw the Lurch kid, I was like, it's not the Lurch kid.
I never thought it was him.
Yeah, anytime it's somebody that, like, I thought the podcast guy, I was like, he would be too easy to guess that it was him. So I was like, it's not him. It's got to be somebody that you wouldn't guess who it was. So at first I thought it was the dad, but as a teenager. But then when he gets stabbed by the killer, I was like, okay, I take him out of the running.
Yeah, he can't be in the same room as the killer if he's the killer and not doing the killing. She
does mention that it could be 2 killers because of Scream, and I was like, that is an excellent point.
It does end up being that way because the podcast guy, which I can't remember his name because they only say it like twice, he does end up, he kills just to keep the
Dubasage.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, but he only kills to keep the killings relevant.
Yeah. I also have to say I love Kieran Shipka's her white leather tassel
Oh,
jacket
yeah.
and everything. I love that. It reminds me of that one movie we did where the girl spills wine all over it. What was the name of that movie?
Can't Buy Me Love.
Can't Buy Me Love. Oh my goodness. I was like, love it, honey.
The
Okay.
clothes in this one don't love as much as some other movies we've seen. Like
Totally true.
these girls, when they're in high school, they're
The
wearing like
Mollies.
yeah, they're wearing like a Sunday Easter dresses and
Dude,
shit. And
I
I'm
have
like,
I have thoughts. I want to talk to you about it when we get to it in just a hot
okay.
minute. But I did write down that the 80s were wild, what's her
Oh,
face?
she says
Jamie.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that I
Jamie
wrote
says
that
it
down. I
quite a
was like,
few times.
yeah, I was like, you aren't lying, honey. I was like, the 80s were wild. Okay. So I love that the guy was a true crime podcast because I wrote down Vetta would have totally listened to this fucking
Totally.
podcast.
I love a
And
good true
you would have
crime.
taken the tour too, you little
Oh, you bet your
weirdo.
ass I would have.
And yes, but at the same time, I was like, it's cool. I listen to true crime podcasts. They're kind of fun sometimes, a little depressing, but fun at the same time. Okay. I did write down that Jamie is a little bit of a cunt, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like, because she,
Oh, the fact that she keeps saying she forgets she's in the 80s and she keeps saying stuff like, you can't say that.
right, yeah, and
That
she's
has a
not,
homophobic undertones. You can't say that.
yeah, and the fact that she like she wasn't nice to her mom and everything, and I was like, man, I was like, listen, my mom was I mean, I love my our mother, and she was cool and everything, but I was like, you were like, all right, mom, I got it. And I'm all like, Ma, you would have got hit if that was my mother, you would have got your ass hit. And she'd be like, excuse me.
Right? She'd be like, you may be taller than me, but I got a broom that says I can kick your
Yeah.
ass.
And you better knock me out in the first hit. Okay.
Yeah.
So I did think that when her mom, I don't remember her mom, what was her mom's name? It doesn't matter. Okay,
Pam.
Pam. Yeah,
Pam.
when she gets attacked as an adult, I did think her fight sequence was pretty rad. I was like, this fight
Yeah.
sequence is pretty. I was like, poor mom that she end up got. But I was like, she's putting up a good fight. Like she's like knows her self defense and
Well,
this.
remember, Jamie says her mom made her take
Yeah,
self-defense classes, which any mom who had her three best friends murdered would.
yeah, exactly. And after her mom gets killed and everything, and she's at the school, I did think that the coach's advice of run, avoid the knife, keep your life. I was like, that's good advice, actually. That's actually some really good. That's the opposite of a scary movie because most of the time they're all like, did you hear that noise? Let's go see what it is. I'd be like, no, pass, fuckers. I'm like, mm.
I love through this whole movie, Jamie just is like, have you never seen a horror film? Why are you doing this? And she's like trying to save these people's lives, and they are just making so much fun of her and bullying her, which,
Right on. And
oh,
so, okay. So this movie I felt was pretty decent up until the time travel part because I'm
yeah.
sorry, as soon as she time traveled, I was like, get the fuck out of here with your time travel bullshit.
In a
I
photo
was
booth.
yeah, in a photo booth. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, this is like so stupid and everything. But at the same time, I'm like, I get it. That's how the movie works and everything, but I
Yeah.
still thought it was so dumb. And my question for you is, why did the killer go after Jamie after that? Like, why would it all of a sudden be like Jamie and like it goes from her mom and then it just goes to the daughter and then like who would you kill after that? Like I'm all like it doesn't I don't know what I don't understand the logic.
I don't think he had intentions of killing Jamie. I think, and we'll talk about this as we get into more of who the killer is. I think it was the mom was killed to keep everything relevant. Jamie was just because Jamie was trying to stop it all.
Right on, right on. I did like the line. I think it was Pam that said it was like, would a serial killer wear Gloria Vanderbilt? I was like, that's funny. That's funny. I like that. I was like, I like that. And
She
that's an
says a whole
ex,
bunch of things because when they go to the cabin and the boys show up, she's like, were we just supposed to les out for the weekend? And she's like,
right,
you can't say that. And then
right,
later she says it again. She goes, oh, I guess you did just totally want to les out with me this weekend. And I
right
was like,
on.
I'm like, I mean, Jamie has so many problems with everything. And I'm like, girl, you got to remember you're in the 80s.
Right.
These are not problems yet.
Right.
And
They
then
weren't problems. Yeah.
these
Okay.
are just products of the time.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, I did think like I did write down that the 80s were better than now only because shit hadn't hit the fan yet and
Yes.
we hadn't got into stupid shit like you can't say certain words and everything and I'm like, "Oh, the 80s were like better in that sense." They weren't better in the sense that like you couldn't fucking research a paper except to go to the library for 15 hours a
And look
day.
through 30 different
Ain't
books.
that the
Yeah.
truth, sister? Okay. I love when they go to gym class. And I first off, I love that she's like, gym doesn't really work for me in my schedule. And I'm all like, honey, I'm like, gym works for everybody. Okay, so get over yourself.
Does it?
But it,
I was going to say the opposite. It doesn't work for anybody. That's why we all have to take it.
gym wasn't that bad. I just didn't like when like they do stuff like when like swimming, they're like, bring an extra pair of jeans so you can make a life raft out of it. And I was like, what? I gotta bring an extra set of clothes. Oh, Jesus Christ. I got shit to do, fuckers.
I hated
Um,
swimming because they made you wear their swimsuits. Nowadays, they just send parameters home that say, send your child to school with a swimsuit that meets these guidelines, because there was nothing more disgusting, even though they swear they wash them every day, than having to put on
mhm.
a swimsuit that 40 other people had worn that day or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't like gym because I mean, I was always one of those people that I wanted gym as the last hour of the day because
I feel you.
I didn't want to go through school sweaty, showering in the gym. I don't know about when you were in school, but literally the teacher would give us 5 minutes. You'd get 5 minutes to shower, dress before class ended. And that's if you got let go on time. So I feel Jamie's pain. I wasn't feeling it either at all.
Right on. I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, gym didn't bother me. But so they go to play dodgeball, right?
Dodgeball. Yep.
And I just want to say dodgeball is awesome and some of those
Awesome.
bitches were weak as shit. I was like,
Yep.
"Honey, I was like you were not made long for this world because you failed at dodgeball."
This is survival of the fittest high school style.
Ain't that the
You are
truth?
not gonna survive this. Like there were so many of them that I was like, catch it. Oh, you could have
Yeah,
caught
Ken,
that.
yeah, right. So, and then I also when okay, so when they show the mollies, right? So Marissa, who is wearing, okay, they're all okay. So the mollies are they all dress up as different versions of Molly Ringwald.
Yes.
And which I was like, listen, don't get me wrong. I love a good Molly Ringwald, but not her clothing, choices in those movies, which she didn't have a choice over. But I was like, whatever. But the one Marissa wears the hats, the blossom hats. You know what I'm talking
Yes.
about? And
Yes.
I wrote down, I would write, her hat is ugly. She deserves to be killed just because of those hats. Like she
The
deserves it. I don't
the
feel bad.
fashion no no.
Yeah,
No no.
exactly. Exactly. Like I didn't like it on Blossom. I don't like it on you, honey.
And
So
I dislike, like, I go just because the 80s had the lace gloves. And don't get me wrong, if you dress me up, if you tell me to dress up for the 80s, I'm putting on the lace gloves. But when you were in the 80s, that wasn't an everyday accessory. Like, you didn't need to wear that every single day, which Pam did. It seemed like always had them on.
right, exactly, exactly. So one thing that I did write down was okay, so when she goes into the past and she meets young Lauren, which is her friend in the future, her friend's mom.
Yeah.
I did, and she's the one that made the time machine. I liked young Lauren. I liked young Lauren a lot. I thought she was super fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I liked how she was, you know, she knew exactly what's going on. She was like, well, we're friends and all, but you're trying to solve this. Like, she wasn't like, oh, you're leaving me out with your new friends. She wasn't doing that stupid girl teenage bullshit.
Right, exactly. And
She's
then
like,
plus
I
I
have
just
this great science problem to solve.
right, yeah, and I plus I loved her like attitude, like yeah,
Yeah.
and everything. She's like okay, and everything. It was she was fun. Okay. Also, I just want to say that Blake Hughes, her dad, younger, was fucking hot as
Right.
shit. Minus his long hair. I don't like long hair on guys. I think it looks bad,
I
but
just love how she keeps picturing her dad in that t-shirt by the pool with with the abs painted on the shirt. Like every time she sees him, once she realized, like when he's coming out of the pool, she's all like, "Oh yeah, he looks good." Until she hears his name, and then the flash of her dad. I'm like, oh, that's funny. My mom has one of those shirts with a bikini on
Right. Yeah, because I was like, her dad was super. He wasn't lying. He was super fucking hot, minus
it.
that long fucking hair. So I just don't like long hair. Anyways, okay. So she changes the whole thing because she comes back in time. Now she doesn't change it drastically because Tiffany still gets murdered first.
Yes.
But she doesn't get murdered in the garage. She
No.
gets murdered in the bedroom. So
Hmm.
I want to say two things about this. Okay. First thing is waterbeds fucking suck, yo.
Suck
Um,
so much.
because all right, so real quick, I just want to tell a real quick story. Am I gross you out? I don't know. Like the water beds suck in terms of like sleeping on, but fucking on, they're not too bad. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Uh,
literally motion to your ocean.
yeah. And the thing is, like I remember the last time I smashed on a waterbed was with the missus before we got married and everything. But I was so like we were all sweaty and hot, but the waterbed, the heat on the water hadn't been turned on, so the waterbed was so fucking cold that I was like, this feels so good, so good. I love it. I'm just gonna lay on this right now. So that's my story about that. Okay, the second thing I just want to say is that Tiffany did not give blowies. So
No.
she deserved to die. Okay. She was not a good girl, not a good girl at all.
Well, remember
And
when they're in the car? If she would have given a blowy, maybe
that
she
I
wouldn't
was,
be here.
yeah, I was just about to say that. Blowjobs save lives. So you got that, ladies. Blowjobs save lives. Do them well. If you don't like, if you're like, I got a weak gag reflex, suck on the tip and stroke the rest of it. Okay. I'm just giving you some advice. All right.
Well, my favorite is when they were talking about
I'm,
blowjobs. Marissa was all like, "Oh, I did it in the dollhouse. I gave Randy one." And they were like, "But weren't people around?" And she goes, "Oh, well, it's a haunted house. I figure they were going to see things they didn't want to see anyways."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did write down. I'll just say it right now because I wrote down. I was like, she is giving a casual beige at the dollhouse. She's a good girl. That
Yeah.
Marissa or whatever her name was. I was like, she's my kind of girl. I was like,
Yeah.
and yeah. So I'm just saying, blowjob save lives. I'm handing out life lessons, ladies. So just saying. I'm just saying. Okay,
It's an excellent go-to if you want to avoid other things.
yeah,
Because you
that's
do
true too.
that.
That's
Every
true.
guy gets very, very happy.
Yeah, and anal. Okay,
Yeah.
so 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 I also okay.
Exit only.
If you say so. I could talk to you about that, but we're not going to get into that. That's not what this podcast is about. But
And I'm not going on a podcast to talk to you about
yeah, we're adults, fucker. Okay, so I did appreciate how Jamie, or Kieran Shipka. I like saying her name, Kieran Shipka. I like it. It's so much fun. It sounds so
I
exotic.
love her. She's really
I love
talented.
her too. She's really, yeah, exactly. Do you ever watch that Sabrina show she was on?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So good, so good. Okay. So she's talking about how TikTok has ruined society. And I was like, oh, snappy the fingers, girl. I
Right.
get you. I'm like, TikTok brain has conquered the planet because these motherfuckers these days have the attention span of a fucking newt. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, you can't talk to them
The
if it.
overstimulation of these kids' brains is
For
bananas.
sure. Yeah. If your story takes longer than 30 seconds, they're out and you're all like, what?
That's why
Like,
that's why the schools are doing so bad. Teachers need to turn all lessons into a TikTok.
yeah. Yeah. I just, yeah, I just don't under, I was like, you know what? I'm feeling you, dog, on this whole thing right here. Okay. So okay, when they go to the cabin, right? Which I just want to say right now, when, what's her face? Which one was the one,
Marissa, I think,
was it
calls it a
Marissa?
condo.
Yeah, she calls it a condo. It is not a condo, you freaking tard.
No,
It
Jamie is
is,
correct. It's a creepy ass cabin
yeah,
in the
it's just a cabin. I was like, I don't think you know what a condo is, honey. I don't think you know what that word means because this is far from a condo. It's not even the same realm as a condo, except for the fact it's a house, but it's a cabin. There's a difference. Okay, and I also okay, so when they go to the cabin that is not a condo, when Sam, is that her name? Kara,
Pam.
when she
Cara.
no,
Oh,
not ma'am, yeah, Kara. When she's like, I brought brownies, my immediate reaction, and so should everybody else's, is they're pot brownies.
yes,
And that's just
immediately.
that's
Because
the
that's all she brought.
yeah,
It
exactly.
wasn't like she brought like ice cream and other desserts. She literally brought brownies and yelled it out after the guy held up the liter bottle, or actually, it might have been a gallon bottle
Yeah,
of
it was
vodka.
a vodka. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know that shit was good. It was like
Oh,
it was like the cheap $7 vodka. So
it had the off-brand label, the one that he could
exactly.
convince the convenience store guy to sell to him and everything. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
when he yells he's got the vodka and she goes, I brought the brownies. Pot brownies should have been the first thing
That
on everybody's mind.
exactly. Because when Karen Shipka's all like, "These are pop brownies," she's like, "Why don't I feel anything?" And then she's like, "There's all these sticks and shit in here." And I was like,
Dirt.
she's like, "I could give you one gummy like this size, and it's 100 times better." And I was like, "That is so true." And I want to tell my edible story if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I just love when
Okay.
she says 80s weed sucks. Like that's her life lesson of this
Yeah,
situation is
right.
80s weed
It sucks.
sucks.
And it does. Okay, so my edible story is this, okay? So I don't do the only thing that I do that's like mind altering, if you will, is alcohol, and I only do it 1 day a week. But for my anniversary this past year, um we decided we were going to do edibles, right? So my wife bought like these candy edibles. They were M&Ms. They were like M&Ms, right? And she gave me like
What
five.
milligrams were they?
I don't fucking know. I don't pay
Oh,
attention to any of that shit. I just don't do drugs. I've smoked weed a handful of times. I don't feel nothing. I just get tired and go to sleep. So, which I know, I'm like, I bought chips and some other shit. I was ready to eat and I'm not even hungry. I just want to go to bed.
I
Okay,
was
so
promised munchies and there are none.
That's exactly what it was. So I do the five edibles, right? So I also was drinking at the same time, which I found out was not a good idea.
Oh, no.
So I'm drinking. I don't know about you, but when I drink, I munch. Like I like a little nosh while I'm drinking and everything. So my wife, she's all like, "Listen, I'm pretty, out of it. I'm just gonna go to bed." So me, I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna stay up and everything." So I'm drinking, and when I was drinking, I started eating the edibles because they're candy, and I'm all like, delicious." So I'm sitting there, I'm eating these M&Ms like they're fucking, Halloween candy. I'm just munching down on these shit and everything. And I'm like, I don't feel a damn thing. These things are fucking weak, okay? All I know is at one point in time, I'm watching Project Runway, and Tim Gunn is in my living room telling me to make it work. And I'm like, I'm gonna make it work, Tim Gunn. I'm gonna make it work. He's like just sitting there, just like what fabrics are you using? I was like, I don't know, Tim. I was like, I didn't go to mood. Ah, shit, make it work. I'm like, I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work. Like he was in my living room. So that's my story on that.
Oh, see, and I am probably a little bit more of a connoisseur of the edibles, only because sometimes that's the only way I can get to sleep. But even then, I'm like 10 milligrams. You give me more than 10 milligrams, and I am kind of like you. Like one night I took 10 and I wasn't feeling it, and I was still wide awake. So I popped another one. Still nothing, still nothing. So I took a third. I'm out on my living room couch and I'm just jittery and
Jittery.
paranoid, like everything. Somebody's trying to break into the house. Oh my God.
You're like
It's
Goldie
got
Hawn
drugs.
from
And
you're like Goldie Hawn from Overboard.
yeah, exactly. And it's legal here. So it's not even like I've done anything bad, but I'm like, oh my God, I'm so
That's
high right now. I'm in so
That's
much
so
trouble.
good. That's so good. Gosh. Okay. So, so we find out that Doug is the killer because he ends up getting killed.
Yeah, they
Um,
set a trap for him.
yeah, they set a trap, which
Because
I
in the
love how,
cabin, he was supposed to kill Heather. No, he
yes,
was supposed to kill Marissa. One of the
yes.
girls, and he kills the other one
Yeah, he kills
instead.
Heather. He was supposed to kill Marissa. And
Yes.
then Marissa is, the good girl because she does blowies. Which, ladies, I just want to say,
Yeah.
if you don't do blowies, you're useless. There's no
So,
point to
so
you.
Jamie gives her a rape whistle and is like, if he comes by, you press the button. And Randy goes, well, what if he slits your throat before she can press the button? And she's like, oh my God. And she's like, I don't want to be the bait. And they quickly turn it around and we'll bring him to the dollhouse. Pretend you're going to give Randy a blowjob. And she's like,
Right.
oh, I can do that. Going
Right.
to give a, and then as she's walking, going to give a blowjob. Like
Right.
she's like made a little like chant of it. Like that's what's getting her through being bait is she's going to, and then she walks in. She's like, Randy, where are you? I'm here just to give you a casual
Yeah, casual beige and everything. I
blowjob.
love that. So Doug ends up getting I love how what's her face, the sheriff's daughter, Kara. I
Kara.
love how she brings weapons and then totally fucks up with the gun and everything. I'm like,
Well,
honey,
and my favorite is her dad gives them to her.
yeah,
He gives her a
yeah.
sickle and a gun. I don't know if a sickle was the best weapon of choice, but
I
hey,
mean,
it was.
it did the job. It did the job. So we find out that Doug killed these three girls because they let his girlfriend, Fat Trish, get drunk and then drive home because she was so upset.
Yes, and
And
Pam was not involved, which is why she doesn't get killed till the future.
yes, and because she was like, we fought, me and the first what was the first girl that died's name? The redhead.
Tiffany.
Tiffany. Yeah, they got into a fight, so they hadn't talked for weeks or whatever. So then another killer pops out like a fucking Houdini tricks and kills Marissa.
Mercer. Well, we
Yeah.
don't know if she dies. He slits her throat. And I personally go, I don't think she died because you'd have to slit your throat a whole lot more. He just kind of gives her a little scar, I think.
Okay, fine. He scars Marissa. She's, giving blowies in her neck now. And so through her trachea. And so
Oh,
so
that'd
then
have to be a really small one
hey,
or a really big
it's
trach.
yeah, it's watertight, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, so okay, so then so there the second killer is Chris Dobage from
The
the future.
podcast guy
Yeah, the podcast guy. And because he killed the mom in the future because he had a podcast of murders that happened 30 years ago, which I totally got
about
it
these murders. It was
about these.
specific. And
Yeah.
he gave the tour. Like he needed to kill her to keep these relevant because his podcast was dying off, the tours were dying off. So he needed to give it a little bit of an oomph to come back
Exactly, which
full
I'm not
force.
gonna lie, I got his rationale. I was like, okay, I get it, entrepreneur, I get it, and everything.
Yeah.
But then he goes back in time. And this is the part that I'm a little confused on. He went back in time to do what exactly? Because was he gonna kill more people? Stop, like, because obviously the killings were still happening. Like he could see that they were still happening. Like Tiffany still died, but she didn't die in the garage. She died in the waterbed. And so I was like, well, what's your point then of going back in time? Which I wrote
Because
it down
his
because they
memory's
say it.
changing.
Oh, is it? Because I thought they
Yeah,
were.
because one point in the garage, he tells what's her name? Amelia. He says, "Oh my gosh, I just saw Jamie." And he's like,
Mhm.
they're at the carnival or whatever the hell it was called. So I think he is remembering because he doesn't show up until after Doug is killed. So I
Mhm.
think he starts seeing in his own brain like it's catching up to whatever happened and the new things happen. I think it's coming up. He's going, oh shit, this isn't going to be all these people, even though a lot of people still die, like
Mm.
a lot of people. So I think he went back to make sure everyone died.
Right on. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I mean,
That was a
you.
really long way to get to that. I
I mean,
sorry.
it's
I
fine. No, it's
apologize.
fine. Long story long. Anyways,
Right.
okay. So so he goes back and then he talks about how his dad was like this Pulitzer Prize winner and everything. He kills his dad, by the way, in the past. He just stabs
Yes.
him right in the fucking forehead. And okay, so they get
On
in
TV.
on TV, yeah, live TV. So they get into this amusement park ride, which, by the way, I hate those amusement park rides. I
Oh,
hate
it's the I don't know what it's called in this, but it's called the Gravitron now. I
them.
love anything that spins
I
like
yeah, I don't like any. I don't like amusement parks or fairgrounds. The rides there suck, and I am deadly afraid one of them is gonna break while I'm on and everything.
you're
Okay.
you're afraid of a own final destination moment.
Well, yeah, not so much like you just see all these things, these fairground rides of them breaking midway, and you're all like, "Fuck that noise!" Okay, like all of a sudden it's ah! and everything, and you're like, "Oh Jesus!" Okay, so they're in the gravitron, right? And it's just a spin it, and they got to be in the middle because if they're not, they what's her face explains how you'll just be thrown at it like you're like a
A
sack of meat or
rocket
some shit.
or
Yeah,
something.
a
Yeah.
rocket. Yeah. And before that, I just want to say in a reference to one of the kid what was his name? Lurch.
Lurch
Yeah, he
wanted to
says
make video games,
and he
and he and
says
Doug were talking.
Yeah, and Doug goes, "Have you played this game? When you die, you turn into a ball of a pink mist and everything." And then there was a reference to, okay, so anyway, they're in the gravitron, and long story short, the killer gets revealed, and then he gets pushed out of the middle and with the nail gun, and he
Yep.
turns into a big ball of pink mist. And I was like, "Ha, that's funny."
Yeah.
So Jamie is in the future now. She's back in her timeline, okay, and she's changed some things,
Yep.
but
Just a
because
few.
she told her mom in the past that she's going to end up with her dad in the future, and they end up together a lot sooner. And she ends up
Yes.
having a brother who is
30.
34
Yep. 34 years old.
and gay
And
and
named Jamie.
named Jamie. And her name is, what is her name? Cordelia? Colette.
Was it? Colette.
Colette.
Yeah.
Colette. Colette. And I was like, it's a
That
good
sucks.
name. It's a good name, I guess, and everything. I was like, I'd rather be Jamie than Colette. And my whole thing is like, I wonder why they picked Colette and everything. But
Yeah, because
um,
you would have thought she would have named her like Tiffany or Heather or Marissa,
yeah,
like
yeah, or
after one of
a
her friends that
normal
died,
fucking name, you
or a
know?
normal name.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, your parents don't like you
But
because
that is kind of an 80s name, like kids that were,
is
well,
it?
she wasn't born in the 80s though. She would have been born in the 2000s.
Yeah, I'm just all
I
I
don't
know
know.
is yeah, it was weird. I was just like, Colette's a weird name. Like, why would you name your kid Colette? Uh,
I don't know. I'm sure there's some Colettes out there that are going, it's an awesome name.
yeah,
I
okay, yeah, they travel in a large
I,
group of one.
yeah,
Like,
I'll be 100% honest. I don't judge anyone's name because look at
oh,
mine.
I judge names. If you got a fucked up name, I don't fuck with you. If your name is weird, I don't fuck with you at all. Like, I'm just like, yeah, your name is Merbijuan, but it's pronounced, Mary, and
Oh.
you're all like, okay, yeah, cool.
See, I used to say that all the time. I was like, what if when I was a kid, I would have been smart enough to go, yes, my name's spelled Vetta, but it's pronounced Sue.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, because nowadays that could be real.
It's it's Edda because the V is silent, you bitch, and everything. Okay, that's great. I don't have anything else in my notes. Was there anything you wanted to talk about with this movie before we wrap things up?
Um, I did like the part where she collects the DNA, the blood of the killer,
Oh,
because she hits him with the log when they're at the creepy
yeah.
cabin, and she's got it in a nice little Ziploc bag, and she goes to give it to the
And
cops,
she
and
doesn't put her fingerprints on it either. She's got it in
yeah,
a napkin.
yep, and everything, and they're like, she's like, so you can test it for DNA, and they're like, what's DNA? And she's like, it's that thing that's specific for every single person. You like put it in the machine, and then it tells you whose DNA it is, and
Yeah,
they're
on
all
the
like,
World Wide Web.
on the World Wide Web. They're like, oh, sorry, we don't know how to do it. And I'm like, girl, did you forget where you
Mhm.
were? Just tell them to keep it for later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's so good. That's so funny. Yeah,
And the
I
cops
thought,
in this are great because they remind me of cops from that movie, Super Trooper.
oh,
That's
right
what
on. Yeah,
these
yeah.
cops in the 80s are like. They're just
Hmm. Yeah, it's so good. So good.
Yeah,
Okay.
other than that, no, everything else. I like this movie. I think you should see it. I mean, if you want to turn it into a drinking game, every time Jamie says you can't say that or gives a reason on why you can't do something because it's, homophobic undertones, society doesn't call them fat anymore or whatever, you do a shot or a drink because, she
See,
does it quite a
I
bit.
I would suggest not watching this movie. I didn't think it was the best use of time in terms of movies. But that's just me. I did love because I was gonna say I don't really care for time travel movies overall. There are a handful of one like Back to the Future, which she
Mhm.
mentions in this one. But
Yep.
I did like her reference when she's like, the quantum time continuum, and she's like, you know what I'm talking about? And she's like, well, I watched Endgame, but I don't really understand it. And I was like, that's funny. That's good. I liked that because I didn't get it either. Time is weird. Ugh, I hate time. Okay, so
I just go it was a cute movie. It's a funsies movie. You can't take it too serious, but I
right
would
on.
recommend it. Like I
Okay, well,
said, you can
listen,
turn it into a drinking game. It'll be fun.
you do you, boo boo. I'm not gonna stop you and everything. All right,
Okay,
well, we're
Yogi.
Okay, what fucker. All right, we're gonna wrap this sucker up, you guys. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated on all our shenanigans, Vetta's especially. If you do listen to us on Apple Podcasts though or Spotify, could you please leave us a 5-star review, you guys? It really helps us out a lot, and we really appreciate it. You have no idea how much it helps us out. We'll also be posting the video version of this to our YouTube channel so you can see our lovely faces, mine especially. So be sure to subscribe to that. You can find us at YouTube at BS Drunk Movie Reviews. Also, you guys, we do have a Patreon if you're interested, with plenty of different levels and everything to suit your needs and everything. And if you're interested in that, the link will be in the description down below. Now, please, most importantly, don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, you guys.
Bye, guys.